All right, so today we are going to talk about using the quadratic formula to solve quadratic equations in standard form. So as a reminder, standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And in the last video, we used completing the square to find that if we have an equation in standard form, then x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And that's the quadratic formula. So for an example, we're going to use 2x squared plus 5x equals 3. We used this exact same example when we did the completing the square with leading coefficient greater than 1. You will notice, though, that this is not in standard form. Standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So we need to subtract 3 from both sides in order to turn this into 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 equals 0, which is now in standard form. Now that it's in standard form, we can see that a is 2 because that's the quadratic coefficient, b is 5 because that's the linear coefficient, and c is negative 3 because that's the constant. So the quadratic formula, once again, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we plug in those values for a, b, and c. X equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 3 all over 2 times 2, which then simplifies to x equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus negative 24 all over 4. 25 minus negative 24 is the same as 25 plus 24, which is 49. So we've got x equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 49 over 4. And the square root of 49 is 7. So we get x equals negative 5 plus or minus 7 over 4. So that then can be written as two separate solutions, x equals negative 5 plus 7 over 4, or x equals negative 5 minus 7 over 4. Those then become x equals 2 over 4 or x equals negative 12 over 4. So we get x equals 1/2 or x equals negative 3. Those are our final answers, and they are the exact same final answers as we found when we did this with completing the square. So once again, quadratic formula, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. As long as you have your equation in standard form, you can identify a, b, and c, plug them in, and simplify to find the two separate values of x. This formula you should memorize. Write it on your bathroom window, study it when you're brushing your teeth, study it when you're washing your hands 20 times a day in order to stay healthy. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Thank you.